we have the iPhone 17 in the house. The next generation of Apple is in my hands, and it is so cool to see how far they've come, especially with the introduction of the iPhone Air. Anyway, we're here for the iPhone 17, so let's see how this performs in our gaming gauntlet of Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves with the Gamesir GA Plus, and PUBG Mobile at their highest possible settings. Performance-wise, the iPhone 17 that we have is running the Apple A19 chip, 512 gigs of storage, and everything plays out on a 6.3-inch LTPO Super Retina XDR OLED 120Hz HDR10 Dolby Vision display. Alright, so before we start, let's check temperatures real quick. Alright, and nothing too funky. 274 all the way. Yep, 274. 27.5 somewhere at the bottom, but that doesn't really matter. Let's check the front. Okie dokies. Starting from the top where the front facing camera is at, 27.4. It's pretty uniform throughout. That's cool to see. Alright. And with that, let's get into our first game, Genshin Impact. Alright, we're in Genshin Impact right now. Let's check our settings real quick. Alright, so for graphics, I set everything to the highest with the highest render resolution, shadow quality on high, highest visual effects, highest effects quality, highest environment details, 60 FPS, motion blurs on high, bloom has been turned on, TA and anti-aliasing, high crowd density and density, and that's about it. Alright, so let's switch around characters and see if there are any dips in that FPS, and so far it's pretty smooth. Wow. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's run through the city as well. You know, I was a bit worried for the iPhone 17, like the base one, like I'm using right now, because, you know, it lacks that A19 Pro chip that the iPhone Air and the iPhone 17 Pro Max has. But this base A19 chip has been doing pretty well with that. Like, that FPS counter has not moved at all. At all. Look at that. It's at a constant 59/99, which is basically, you know, just 60 FPS. More or less, you know, but like, look at that. Okay, we dropped it a little bit, like 4 over there, but even then, wow. Alright, call impressed. No cool commissions, but we are going to be fighting an enemy over here, and some enemies are actually over here. Let's do that real quick, and we're outside here. It's pretty beautiful. Look at that, as we're fighting. Yeah. Ulti.
Retribution.
Alright, ulti again. Yeah, okay, so far no huge frame rate drops. We're in combat on the outside. Let's get the Zoot over here. Nice. Alright, quick ulti. And here we go. Alright, so fighting out in the open, not much of an issue. Let's just go do that a little bit over there real quick before hitting the spiral abyss. Alright, let's go. That's my bad. Ulti, come on, let's do this. And okay, we're done. Alright, so that was pretty fun, I guess, but as you can see, you know, alright, so that was pretty fun. As you can see, you know, with the boss fight like that, we're actually doing kind of okay. Outside, I mean, by okay, I mean there was not even a single dent in that FPS. This has been amazing so far. Let's just go into the spiral abyss. So currently we are at 94% after about 9 minutes of gameplay. And ulti. Beautiful. Let's just take out that guy real quick. I know we can make it in time. And now for the next two dudes. Come on. Ulti. Not just yet, but right now.
Verdict is.
Ulti.
Verdict is.
And that should be it. Yep. I told you.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Alright.
Whirling snow.
Yep. That's cool. But yeah, as you can see, you know, playing in an enclosed space, no issues whatsoever. This has not made a single dent in the FPS so far. I can't wait to see how this performs with Zenless Zone Zero. And we are done. So that's 12 minutes of gameplay and we are at 92% right now. Let's check temperatures. It is getting a little bit warm. We're at 35 degrees, 36, 37, 38. Are we hitting 40? Are we hitting 40?
As a jeweler cherishes their gems.
30.3, 37, 37, 37. All right. Yeah, I mean, okay, this is expected. You know, it's hitting 40 for the base iPhone 17. But still, you know, it's pretty impressive what we've seen so far. We've seen other flagship phones that, you know, the base flagship phones, and they aren't performing as well as this. So that's pretty cool to see. Let's check the back. All right, starting with the back over here where the camera modules are at 40 degrees, 37 on the sides, 40 degrees all the way.
As a jeweler cherishes their gems.
All right, chill. I'll get it. All right, 36.7, 37, 39. Yeah, but okay, for back temperatures like this is actually pretty impressive. Like, I'd expect the front, but things like the back isn't even hitting 40. If you think about it, we've had a lot of phones out there where, you know, they've hit 40 on both sides, but this is actually doing pretty good. All right. With that, let's get into Zenless Zone Zero. All right, so I've let the phone rest for about 5 minutes, and let's check temperatures before we start Zenless Zone Zero, starting with the back over here, and 31 degrees. Look at that. This thing cools down pretty damn quickly. All right. Starting with the front-facing camera over here, 30.5. Yeah, these are great numbers. After like 5 minutes of just letting it sit there and cool down for a bit, that is great. And before we begin, of course, we are at 91% battery at the start of Zenless Zone Zero. All right, so we are in Zenless Zone Zero right now. Let's check our settings real quick before we start. All right, so for graphics, I've set everything to the highest. High rendering, anti-aliasing on TAA, high shadows, ultra FX quality, 60 FPS, character quality on high, environment quality on high, volumetric fog enabled, bloom has been enabled as well. So let's run this. So let's walk through 6th Street over here, and as you can see, this portion out here, it should start to drop. And it is dropping right now by like 4 FPS, and we're back out to 59. No major issues so far. We're walking all the way to the train station at the end. We're at 58 right now, and it's gonna leg it all the way there towards the end, and honestly that wasn't too bad. Now let's run it back all the way back down to where we started. Just gotta be mindful of this little junction over here. Gonna be hitting any drops, no drops. Yo, okay, clean, no FPS drops whatsoever. And with that, let's just get some materials. All right, let's go. And we're immediately going down to 43 FPS. And we just, cycle, okay. Again, you know, we are playing at the highest possible settings, and Zenless is known to do this to phones that have, you know, when we're testing them out and the phones have not been released. These guys doing that right now. Oh boy. They're going to like 20 FPS.
Press forward.
Here we go. Again, you know, we are playing this before launch, so just keep that in mind.
Let's make this quick.
And you know, two of the most graphically intensive characters in Zenless Zone Zero. Except my ulti.
Let's get still.
Hello, Steam.
As decreed.
Yeah, that went a lot better than I expected. Alright, here we go.
Disappointing.
Alright, I'm in hottie time. Nice. Oh, okay, and it's leveling up right now. That's our ulti. Beautiful. Follow up. And ulti again.
Your fate is sealed.
Alright. We're making some progress. Ulti.
How annoying. Get blessed. Get that.
Come on, this is nice. Alright, but honestly, this is performing a lot better than I would expect. On the A19 chip. It's doing a lot more better than I expected. Here we go. Get the frost effects off.
this wouldn't be easy.
Alright, that's my fault. Nice. Oh, and okay, now we're hitting like a solid 60. Sorry, I can't wait for, you know, the patch to be out when the phone is released. And all these games just play super smoothly, as they should be.
What a pain.
Nice.
Vanish. I
Ulti.
swear on my
Yeah,
life.
this is so smooth right now. And there we go, yeah. So, rough start at the front, but then towards the end, you know, things started leveling out. So that's cool to see. Let's move on and go for another... not another, but let's go for the Notorious Hunt. Alright, still very smooth. I think the game is leveling out with the phone and vice versa. Either way, this is getting a lot smoother over time. So yeah, it's, oh my god, okay. Even though we're running at like 50, 42 FPS just now, you know, things are actually running up very smoothly right now. Come on. Bam, bam, bam. Roar.
Let's make this quick. Be gone.
Beautiful.
Get to us first.
And yeah, I mean, we are making mincemeat of this thing. Let's just get that thing in. That stagger.
Time to hunt.
Alright. Nice. Now this is cool. And yeah, that's it. Alright, so we played for about 7 minutes right now. We're about 7 minutes of uptime with the game on, and we're currently at 86% battery. Let's check temperatures. I'm very surprised about the performance with this A19 chip, man. Like, wow. 38.6, 39, alright. 40 degrees, yep, that's expected. Alright. Pretty okay temperatures, especially when it comes to Zenless. Let's check the back. 38.5, 37.8, 39.5, 40.5. Yeah. These are actually great numbers for Zenless. I mean, given that, again, you know, it is the base iPhone 17 we're talking about, this is actually pretty good, and, you know, they are playing it before release and all that. Yeah, solid stuff out the box. And before we get into our next game, Wuthering Waves, here's a message from our friends at Secretlab. At Geek Culture, Secretlab is our everyday ergonomic buddy. Whether we're making videos, writing up a storm, or gaming for hours on end, we are comfortably seated and feel right at home without the aches and pains. Secretlab provides ergonomic support from head to toe, with a dynamic lumbar support system that adapts to your movements, along with a proprietary medium foam cushioning that optimizes pressure distribution. They even have accessories like the ergonomic recliner add-on to keep your legs elevated and well rested at any angle you like. For more information, check out secretlab.co. Alright, so we are going to be playing Wuthering Waves. Let's check temperatures real quick. I've let it sit for about another 5 minutes to cool off. And look at that, 31 degrees. I'm not even surprised at this point. Look at that. That is killer. Let's check the back here real quick. 33, 32. Alright. That is sick. Okay. So with that, let's just put this inside the Gamesir GA Plus real quick, and boom. This is not what I was expecting. Okay, as you can see over here, that's going to be a little bit of a problem. I don't want to damage the device like that. So as far as it goes, I'm going to be removing the thing and be playing with the Gamesir GA Plus off camera so that, you know, I don't damage the phone. But yeah, let's get to Wuthering Waves. Alright, so we are in Wuthering Waves right now. Let's check our temperatures before. Okay. Alright, so we're in Wuthering Waves right now, and I forgot one thing. We are currently at 84% right now. So let's just check our settings real quick. So for graphics, we set everything to the highest over here. High resolution, meta effects turned on, 60 frame rate, special effects qualities on high, shadow qualities on ultra high, high LED bias on for NTLC capsule AO, bloom has been turned on as well, crowd densities on high, hit enemy flash, enemy hit flash, my bad, on, damage number turned on, fixed base animation turned on, and yeah, that is really about it. Alright, so let's run through the city here real quick. And yeah, we are somehow getting pretty decent numbers actually. On the FPS counter, look at that.
Keep your eyes open.
very decent. And honestly, like, you know, there is stuttering and everything, of course, you know, because we are traveling from like what, 60 FPS down to 40-ish. But as we run through the city over here, you know, things are looking to be pretty smooth. Alright, run through the restaurant over here. No major issues whatsoever. No huge frame drops. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, let's run through a boss fight real quick. Alright, let's get in. Boom, boom. All three. Alright, that's my bad. All three. Alright, that goes into the second phase. And 1, 3. And I completely missed that. And all three. All three. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, big boss fight like that, 60 FPS all the way. I mean, for the most part at least. But you know, still it's pretty damn consistent. Let's move on and fight some monsters in the village. Alright, it's a little dark, but you know, as you can see, walking around here, that FPS is slowly but surely, you know, kind of staying at a steady 55, 56 like that. Let me just kill these monsters over here real quick to get a real feel of combat outside. All three. Everything is pretty smooth for Wuthering so far. Very nice.
It's market time.
Sick. Alright. But yeah, I got it. That went a lot smoother than I expected as well. So yeah, we're actually doing pretty good here. Let's just fight these monsters over here in this tasset field. Just gotta remember to wait for him to show up. Like that, and boom. And all three.
Down with the curtain.
Nice. All three. And here we go, last one. And I think we got him. Alright, sick. And as you can see, you know, performance has been great so far. Again, I've been playing with the Gamesir GA Plus off screen, so that's how we're doing this right now. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed by the performance still. Like, who would have thought, right? Who would have thought the A19 chip would be performing this well with Wuthering and even Zenless to some extent. Let's check temperatures real quick. Currently, we are at 79% battery. That's not bad after about 8 minutes of gameplay. 38.6, 39. Definitely normal numbers for Wuthering Waves over here. 38.5, 38, 37.6. All right. 40. Wait, was it 44? Nope. 43, 44. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's obviously running a little hotter than the other Apple devices. Again, this is the base iPhone 17 and it's actually doing wonders right now. Alright, let's move on to the last game, PUBG Mobile. Alright, so that's the cool after like 3 to 4 minutes. Let's check temperatures real quick. Starting on the back over here before we play PUBG Mobile. 33.7, yep, this thing again, not surprised. Look at that, great numbers. Let's check the front over here. From the top right, the front facing camera is at 34 degrees, all around 33 at the bottom over here. It's doing all right. Yep, and let's check the battery life over here. Battery life, currently we are at 78%. So, let's get into PUBG Mobile. Alright, so we're in PUBG Mobile right now. Let's check our settings real quick. For graphics, I set everything to super smooth and extreme frame rate, and that is what we're working with today. Let's get into a game. Alright, so far so good. We are at 60 FPS, or at least, you know, that's as much as the counter can tell me right now. But yeah, it's looking to be pretty good. It looks like we're playing in the night. So this is going to be exciting. Oh, nice. I'm not the jump leader. Okay, so yeah. As you can see, things are looking pretty smooth out here. I mean, it is PUBG and we've seen the performance of the other 3 games and I gotta say, this thing will just mop the floor with PUBG. I don't even need to play that long for this one, but as you can see, let's just get into some combat, you know, run around a little bit and see what we can do to help out the team. So far, so good. I don't see anyone else around us. I mean, we won't know until we reach there anyway. Righto, here we go. Gonna aim for that warehouse. We should hit just right here. Nice. Left side. An AR would be good right now. If I can even get an AR. Alright, let's check the diner real quick. We usually got good stuff over there. I don't think anyone came in with us. That's interesting. In terms of performance, I mean, it's PUBG Mobile at this settings and it's doing great so far. No, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. Yep, okay. Yeah, it's my fault. Alright, so checking temperatures real quick from the top over here. Not really a great round, but you know what? It's PUBG, it's fine. 35 all the way through. We've been out for like 22 minutes right now. 70% battery over here. 70% battery. I mean, after almost like half an hour of gameplay, this is actually alright. 35.9, 36.1. Alright, nothing out of the ordinary, except, you know, it's probably cooler than most other phones that we tried, you know, at this kind of gameplay length. 22 minutes, guys. So I think we have enough for our final thoughts. The iPhone 17, man, I am so surprised at how well this turned out, especially up against the A19 Pro equipped siblings. Zenless has always been tough, even though the 17 struggled a little bit at the start of combat. It's smoothing out so much right after, and it's crazy to see how well it handled Genshin and Wuthering as well. The iPhone 17 gets the job done and does it do a damn good job. Enough said. So, would you be getting the iPhone 17? Let me know in the comment section below. Leave your questions there too. If you do have any, we'll do our best to get to them. If you like what we do, make sure to follow us on all of our socials right here and maybe leave a like and hit the subscribe button. It goes a long way. If you want to see more stuff, check this out.